The discovery call is the most critical stage of the sales process for high-ticket services. It is not a sales pitch. It is a structured interview to determine whether the prospect is a good fit for your services and whether you can genuinely help them solve their business problems. Many sales professionals make the mistake of talking too much during a discovery call, presenting their solution before they even understand the prospect's situation. The best discovery calls are those where the prospect does 80% of the talking, guided by strategic questions that reveal their goals, challenges, budget constraints, and decision-making process. This video explains discovery call questions that work and how to structure the conversation. By asking these questions, you establish yourself as a professional peer, gather deep operational insights, prevent scope creep from occurring later, and set the stage for a highly successful partnership. The main purpose of a discovery call is to qualify the lead and gather the critical information you need to create a tailored proposal. You need to determine whether the prospect has a problem you can solve, whether they have the budget to afford your services, whether they are ready to act, and who is involved in the final decision. Asking the right questions in the right order is key to uncovering this information without making the prospect feel interrogated. When done correctly, the discovery call feels like a collaborative diagnostic session rather than a high-pressure sales pitch, building trust from the very first minute. Start by establishing a clear agenda and obtaining agreement. A simple statement like the goal of this call is to understand your business goals, discuss the challenges you are facing, and see if there is a fit between what you need and what we do. If there is, we can discuss next steps. Does that sound good? Sets a collaborative tone and establishes you as a professional leader of the conversation. This shows the prospect that you respect their time and have a structured, proven method for helping them evaluate their options, which immediately differentiates you from the competition. Begin with open-ended questions that encourage the prospect to describe their current situation. Can you tell me a bit about your business model and your main focus right now? Is a low-friction question that helps the prospect open up. Listen carefully to their response, noting the terms they use and the aspects of their business they emphasize. This context will guide your subsequent questions, allowing you to tailor your vocabulary to match theirs and show that you understand their industry. Once you understand the basic situation, ask about their goals. What are you trying to accomplish over the next 6 to 12 months? Or what does success look like for this project? Helps you identify what the prospect values. Understanding their goals is essential because your eventual proposal must connect your services directly to the achievement of those goals, showing them a clear path from their current state to their desired future state. After establishing the goals, dig into the challenges that are preventing the prospect from achieving them. What is the biggest obstacle you are facing in reaching that goal? Or why did you decide to look for a solution to this problem now rather than waiting? Helps you understand the pain points. The reason they are looking for a solution now reveals their level of urgency, which is a key qualification factor. If there is no urgency, the deal is likely to stall later, so you must understand what is driving the timeline. Quantify the impact of the problem to build urgency. How does this challenge affect your team's productivity, or what is the cost to your business of not solving this problem? Helps the prospect see the financial and operational consequences of inaction. If they cannot quantify the problem, it may not be painful enough to justify the budget for your solution, and you need to help them calculate it. By highlighting the cost of doing nothing, you build a compelling case for taking action and making the necessary investment to solve the issue. Ask about past attempts to solve the problem. What have you tried in the past to address this challenge, and what were the results? Reveals what did not work and why. This information prevents you from proposing a solution that they have already tried and rejected, and it helps you understand their expectations and preferences for working with external partners. It also shows them that you are focused on providing a different, more effective approach. Qualify the budget carefully and respectfully. Avoid blunt questions like "What is your budget?" which can make prospects defensive. Try, "Have you allocated a specific budget for this project? Or are you looking for a recommendation on what it will cost?" Or typically, a project of this scope ranges from $10,000 to $15,000. Is that in line with what you were expecting? These questions provide a price range and allow you to observe their reaction, helping you qualify them financially. Identify the decision-making process and timeline before ending the call. Who besides yourself will be involved in evaluating this proposal and making the final decision is a respectful way to identify other decision-makers. Knowing this information prevents you from spending time presenting to someone who does not have the authority to sign the contract, and helps you involve the right stakeholders early. It ensures that you understand the internal dynamics of their organization and can prepare your proposal accordingly. Ask about the timeline for action. When are you hoping to have this solution in place? Or what is driving that timeline? Helps you understand their sense of urgency. If they want to start next week, they are highly qualified. If they are planning for next year, they are a long-term lead who needs nurturing rather than an immediate proposal. Knowing the timeline allows you to schedule your follow-up tasks appropriately and manage your sales pipeline effectively. Summarize the key points the prospect made during the call before discussing next steps. Say something like, "Based on our conversation, it sounds like your goal is to increase qualified leads by 30%. But your current landing page conversion rate is holding you back. You tried running paid ads but paused them because the cost per lead was too high, and you want to have a new system in place before next quarter. Did I get that right?" This summary proves you were listening and confirms your understanding of their situation. Finally, define the next steps clearly. If the prospect is a good fit, schedule the next call on the calendar before hanging up. Say the next step is for me to draft a proposal outlining our recommended approach, pricing, and timeline. Let's schedule a 15-minute call next Thursday to review it together. Does that work for you? This clear transition maintains momentum and keeps the sales process moving forward, ensuring that both parties are aligned on what happens next. Sales Script Studio helps founders, freelancers, and sales teams communicate more clearly with prospects. The channel breaks down cold emails, discovery calls, objection handling, follow-ups, and simple sales scripts that make conversations easier without sounding robotic or manipulative. This video is general sales communication education, not a guarantee of reply rates, booked calls, close rates, revenue, or business results. Outcomes vary by offer, market, list quality, timing, trust, and execution.